It's Wednesday night. It's September 27th, 2023. Brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast, streaming live on the Kicking Out Podcast YouTube channel and Twitter X account. Subscribe, like, follow at Kicking Out Pod if you haven't already. I'm Tanner Lee, along with my co-host. The whole band's back together tonight. Paul Zartman and the new reigning, defending KOP Predictions champion, Austin Shepard.
I'm right here. Oh.
Short rank title rank, Paul, but you are a fighting champion, so I give you some respect.
Wait, fighting champion? I'm putting the belt on the line already.
Yeah, you are.
Yours is for a pay-per-view. I went off of a Dynamite Rampage combo.
Which, for everybody out there, if they didn't keep track, what happened was Shep and I actually tied during that and beat Paul by a point. So then Paul's next stipulation was Texas Death Match. Each of you get a participant. I gave Shep first call. He picked Bryan Danielson. Then, of course, I took Ricky Starks. Danielson was victorious, so that's why Shep is the new champ.
This is third time? Fourth time?
At least 3 times.
At least 3 times.
So
we're only 2 minutes into the show, so I'll try not to get us an explicit rating, but those bucks, man, every time.
Hey, they're your bucks. Your bucks, Paul. I've been spoken about the managers of Target. They're your bucks.
I disclaim them.
Disclaim them.
If you look at the pin tonight, it's golden. It's all good.
Ooh.
It's golden. It's golden, baby.
And I will say before we get into our first segment and then get into the show recap, we're talking about title changes. It is interesting if the rumors are true of AEW going to HBO Max, or Max as they call it now. We could see a pay-per-view up to potentially every month, which could be a lot of title changes in 2024.
Nah, I'll retain the whole year.
And speaking of title changes, we just got done recording our latest Champions Quiz. We did the WWF/WWE European Champion. So go check out that video and see which one of us could answer the most European champions in under 7 minutes. So we all 3 did pretty good. Just one of us did better than the other 2.
I think the guy in the pink shirt looks pretty damn good, boys.
Always knew pink was your color.
Well, hey, we had a little golf outing today, and I got home a little late. Wearing the hat, wearing the shirt, but you know what? You know what is consistent, Paul?
Shep's on the podcast.
Well, besides that.
Oh, this little segment we like to do. It's called, Hey, Shep, what are we drinking tonight?
There you go, Paul. You're catching on.
He's learning.
Now,
I got to learn all over.
Now, I don't know if, Paul, if you watched last week, I got myself in a little bit of a pickle.
Yes, you did.
Damn it. So, I went out in the fridge tonight, and I bought, you have to buy 6 of those things. There's 5 left. I'm like, nah. We've been on the golf course all day. Don't need that. So we got just our Old Faithful. Hold on. There we go.
Still waiting, Kettle.
Still waiting, Kettle.
Come on, Kettle.
I mean, we got the little bottle here. No, I mean, don't judge me here, but then we got the big bottle over here.
Yeah.
It's because, so, again, we got a full one here. And then if Paul talks a lot, which I think he will, we got our reserve cup of ice right here for a backup one. So.
Just go ahead and make it now, Shep.
This one's pretty damn full.
You are the king of rabbit holes, so just remember that.
That, and if the screen goes black, somebody had to go, check the gutters.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it tonight.
Tony Khan drinks 47 cups of coffee. I drink a couple Yetis. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
You don't get as wide-eyed, though.
No, I don't. But if our podcast ever got on the level of Ariel Helwani's, where he had to take a live bathroom break, I think I'll handle that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem at all. No problem. Paul, what are you drinking tonight?
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. We're kind of all with
Not
our
new.
Old Faithfuls tonight. I got and the show was in Colorado tonight, so Coors Light.
So where's
Hey,
your
at least-
where's
never
your orange and green there, Tanner, for the Miami Dolphins?
I got plenty of orange and blue around, but I'm not wearing that
Yeah.
until Sunday.
Okay.
Thank God they play the other team in orange and blue, because that might be the only team in the league they might be able to beat. It's pretty bad when you lost by 50 points, gave up 70, and you're still 3-point favorites against your opponent this week. That tells you how bad the Bears are.
Well, you know.
Bears are pretty fucking
Yeah,
bad.
they're pretty bad.
Sorry.
Nope.
There's the explicit.
There goes the E.
Well, I could have said that to Swerve tonight, but that was good heel heat. I'll give him that. With the shots at the Broncos. Poor Russell Wilson. He's even playing decent this year, and he can't get away from criticism.
See, I was going to be nice and try not to mention it, but since Shep did, at least something was good to watch out of Colorado.
My phone has got blown up unbelievably since even today. Still, it's just nonstop. So with memes and gifs and
can you imagine, Tanner, if you were a Colorado
Buffalo's fan on top of
the Broncos?
Oh my God! And then not that anybody cares. The Colorado Rockies lost their 100th game yesterday, first time in franchise history they've done that. So bad week for the sports week for the state of Colorado. Good thing the Nuggets, I guess, are NBA champions. But.
You know what though? I was in Colorado 2 months ago and fucking hated it. Hate the altitude. It sucked. Kicked my ass. My wife rented an Airbnb with no AC. It was 90 degrees. Life sucked.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll happen.
And the Colorado airport sucks balls. So,
see,
I'm over Colorado.
I was flipping Facebook Sunday night, and I saw somebody posted that score, and they had changed the font so it was a screenshot and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, there's no way that's a legit final score. So when I Googled it and saw that, I was like, oh no. That's why I had to text you and make sure you were at least still alive.
Oh, you were not the only one. I probably had about 5 people do a wellness check on me. So, and what sucked for me, one of my best friends, who I host another podcast with, is a big Miami Dolphin fan. So I had to do the podcast on Monday with him. That was fun. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk wrestling, shall we?
Yes.
Hey, you guys want to talk to the champion or what?
Sure.
Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about? Ask any question. I'm free. I'll answer any of your questions as your champion.
Okay, Christian.
Yeah. You're not wearing a turtleneck, Paul. You're out.
Adam Copeland, who?
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, that might be a question later in the pod. But no Orange Cassidy opened up tonight's Dynamite. Instead, we got Rey Fenix, the new AEW International Champion, defending against JEFF, JARRETT, Jeff Jarrett.
All right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Fenix is champion.
He should not be champion.
No, and that has come out numerous times.
Yep, I read all about today in Fightful.
I did not read it in Fightful, but all the reports I've seen over the last week indicate that it just wasn't supposed to happen. And I went back and rewatched the match because of it. And I got to give Fenix props. He checked on Moxley several times during that match while Knox just stood there.
Because Rick Knox didn't do his job.
Are my pants okay? Do these pants fit me okay? Is it okay that they're 17 sizes too big?
And that's why he wasn't on tonight. He has heat backstage. Fightful Select reported. So, as he should. It's not the first time he screwed up something like this.
So I know you guys aren't a fan of this guy, but I am. Listen to Cornette. Cornette says back when he was with the WWF and then in ROH, when he would train officials, he trained the officials as if every match was a shoot. Meaning, you count to 3. If the talent didn't kick out, it was on them.
100%. 100%. That's how it should be.
And
As a
so,
former official, that's how I was taught too.
and so Cornette says it's like 100% Knox is a dipshit, according to Cornette, but he blames a little bit on Mox because, and hear me out. And at first, when I thought he was going to blame it on Mox, I'm like, man, Cornette, you're out of line here. But he said after the first over the shoulder pile driver, and Knox didn't count 3. All of a sudden, Mox went ahead with Phoenix and did it again. He said Mox should have laid his ass on the ground and made him count again. He said it was 100%, well, a lot of percent on Mox that made Mox and Knox, I know that's not weird, right? John Moxley fed into the bad decisions of Rick. Is it what's his first name?
Rick.
Yeah, Rick Knox. So it was bad on both of their parts, and I listened to the Cornette episode, and they were solely focused on the finish. But I'm pretty sure early in the match, the first spot when Phoenix came off the ramp, and landed, I'm pretty sure that rang his bell right there.
I think you're right.
They didn't talk about that, but I blame more on the official than I do Moxley, and not just because I'm a Moxley fan, okay, and not just because I make fun of Rick Knox for the last year, right? I think that's more on the official there, and Mox. There were some reports, and I watched the video again. Mox laid there and said a few choice words to him.
Oh yeah, he told him to F off pretty much.
Tanner, we've already been in the explicit.
I should have just
area, but
ripped up.
So, anyways,
yeah.
But it's a bad situation around because
it is.
Obviously we don't want to see anybody get hurt. We don't, especially concussions. You know, look at all the really high profile superstars that have been sidelined because of concussions, and you don't want to see that. But you also need a senior official, which I think they call him a senior official, know what the hell is going to go on when somebody's injured. So
right. And really the whole thing messed up Dynamite plans for this week and WrestleDream plans. So
yeah. And okay, look, I know how the match was supposed to end with the way we saw the young or the elite, the Hung Bucks, whatever we want to call them this week, winning the titles. But the Mox match wasn't the only time Knox fucked up during Grand Slam. If you go back and look at the pin, he's behind Nick, facing away from the pin, and Brian Cage's head is barely on the ground. Like, his shoulders are nowhere near the mat. They're resting on top of Nick's legs. And he counts 3 with the camera pointed right at what's going on.
He's just not a very good referee.
Well,
no.
Well, in that case, and I'm not sticking up for Skeletor, okay?
Back to Skeletor.
You got to look a little bit of production value for something like what Paul just described. The guys in the truck need to know what camera to put on in that situation. They put the wrong camera on, obviously. So
yes,
yeah, you can blame it on Knox, but I think you got to blame it on the camera guy in the trailer. So
it's a 50-50 here on me, because regardless of where the camera was, Nick could not clearly, or Rick could not see the pin that was going on. He had no way to check if Cage's shoulders were down.
His baggy pants were in his eyes. He couldn't see shit.
Exactly. Not to mention probably Nick's hair. He was probably sniffing it because, he's all up the Bucks' ass anyway.
Anyway, there we go. Let's get fired up. Let's get. Never mind.
And you can get the get Dude Some Pants t-shirt on kickingoutshop.com.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. In fact, you know what? I might just order one tonight.
Anyways, Phoenix was victorious in his first title defense, regardless of Karen Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt all trying to get involved. Phoenix reversed a figure 4 attempt from Jarrett for the roll-up victory.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, real quick. I should say that. Yeah, whatever. You're going to listen to me, right?
Yeah, sure we are, champ.
I thought the match was pretty good. I thought Jarrett worked really well with him as a luchador. I really think Jarrett can hold his own just with his wife ringside. He doesn't need the other 3 guys. I know they got a faction and it works or whatever, but at his age, he really can still go.
He can. I know. We all criticized the signing when they signed him, but he's been a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So I'm 100% okay with just him and his wife down there at ringside and the other 3 stooges. And I love Jay Lethal. I think Jay Lethal is awesome in the right situation. But right now he's taking a backseat to a 54-year-old Jeff Jarrett.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's just my 2 cents on the thing.
No, it's hard to disagree with that. Disagree with that.
It is.
Up next, we got a really fun segment like we always do from Better Than You, Baby. MJF and Adam Cole, they're shown chilling on a boat in Long Island. Cole thanks MJF for bringing him out there. However, MJF points out that Cole was on the phone with Roderick Strong for a long time, but Cole points out that he loves them both. MJF then gets another beer, but puts on his Dynamite diamond ring. As Cole then questions if MJF brought him out here to knock him out and throw him overboard. Cole said it's normal to have more than one friend, and MJF then jokes that he almost got caught the last time he tried to throw someone overboard. And then all of a sudden, Adam Cole thought he hooked a fish, so they're trying to reel it in, and it was Paul White as Captain Insano.
I think
Bobby Boucher was very excited.
Hey, Paul White looked chiseled.
He looked good, and he's gone on record saying he's gained weight and he doesn't like where he's at and he wants to get some weight shed before he gets back into the ring. And I'm like, dude, you look great.
He looked really good.
Yeah.
And I know they said he wants to do one more run, in-ring run, and as Captain Insano. So maybe a little get a foot in the door here.
Yeah, that was fun. You could tell all 3 guys were having a blast doing that. Paul White's good at that stuff. So yeah,
you know
always
what?
fun.
Better Than You, baby. You guys aren't that bad.
Yeah, as they're all enjoying a beer together. So
yes.
What kind of beer was that?
It was a green can. It was green and silver can, and probably some local New York stuff. I don't know. I have no idea.
It wasn't that
no
flavored
duels.
club soda shit CM Punk was drinking, was it?
No, and what's Moxley sponsored by them? Isn't that Athletic or Athlete or something? That non-alcoholic beer.
Well, no, Moxley's sponsored by it, but what Punk was drinking was a flavored club soda. Wasn't a beer replacement because he's straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
Straight edge.
Yep.
Well, that's stupid. Who wants straight edge? Anyways, go ahead.
Up next, the Don Callis family comes out. Well, it was Takeshita and Callis come out to a rain of boos to where Renee even talks about it's hard to hear because of these boos. Then he introduces Sammy Guevara, says he's happy Guevara's free of the toxic of Chris Jericho, brings out the newest member of the Don Callis family, then shows backstage footage of him and Takeshita in Tokyo, Japan recently as they went to Kota Ibushi's dojo and eventually knocked him out with a kettlebell and a chokehold. So I like that. I liked how it wasn't shot with a fancy camera. It was kind of old school like. I thought it added a lot to the segment. He went on to say that his family's never been stronger heading into WrestleDream. Guevara then says He is being painted as the bad guy, but in reality, he is the hero. He claims Jericho is the villain, as for 4 years he held him back. Guevara says whenever he was flying high, Jericho would clip his wings. He thought one day Jericho would pass him the torch, but Jericho's selfish, so he had to take the torch, and now is the time for him to be a champion and star he was born to be. Callis says at WrestleDream, they'll take everything from Jericho, Ibushi, and Omega until there's nothing but the tears. And for anybody who might have missed it, the third member of Callis's team is Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
Just a little guy.
Again.
Yeah.
Just a little guy.
Will by God Ospreay, as Callis called him. So, which will be interesting. If he signs with AEW, he could be part of Callis's family going forward in 2024.
The only problem I got with what you just said is he did a really good podcast with Renee. And
Ospreay, is that who you're talking about? Yeah.
And it's probably been a year ago, maybe a little longer. But he talked about wrestling in Japan during the pandemic and their restrictions. But he also praised New Japan of working around his schedule. Not meaning like he does what he wants, but he's got a family at home. He's got a stepson, I think, that pretty much is his son. And he talks about how they work around that, let him go home. So he also mentioned if he would sign with an American company, whether it's AEW or Tanner's uncle's company.
Damn it, shit.
It's, they would not be as open to his booking. So
yeah.
I really think it'd be hard for him not to re-sign with New Japan just because New Japan has the open flexibility to let him go do whatever he wants if he wants to make a paycheck. So I think it's a really good fit for Ospreay. Selfishly, would I want him on AEW television every week? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then again, the guy's based in Europe, and
so's Pac though.
I'm not a fan of Pac.
I'm not really either.
He's based in Europe. His company's in Japan, and he wrestles in America. Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best of both worlds for that guy.
And I did see New Japan, MLW, and AAA agreed to some sort of partnership today.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's like a full-fledged, we can trade talents at all times, but it is some sort of partnership going forward. So, which is good for all three of those companies.
Absolutely.
Kyle Destroyer on YouTube asks, is Adam actually hurt? Refereeing Adam Cole. We will get into that in just a bit.
He's hurt.
Up next,
he had a big old boot on. He's hurt.
Well, and okay, I'll go ahead and say it because because here, and I don't know if you guys have. I'll share my screen even because I was kind of skeptical myself for storyline purposes, but Britt Baker, his real life girlfriend, just put this out on Twitter. I'm gonna share my screen so everybody can see it.
Everybody, look away. Oh,
so that's actual.
Ouch.
Yeah, actual picture of Cole's ankle.
Yeah, that doesn't look healthy.
Yeah, that's legit. There's the X-ray. So
still seems weird to see Adam with glasses.
Yeah. So sucks for him. I mean,
so it's been a week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it was that bad, he would already had surgery.
Maybe they were just waiting for him to make this appearance tonight.
Cody wrestled with a torn freaking pec.
Yeah. But I will say, I wonder how quick he can recover because it helped me out, one of you guys. I know I shared it with you, but the independent company, he just appeared on and agreed to wrestle a match in November.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go
what
scroll
was
back
that?
through.
Yeah, what was that? I should know that. It's one of the better independents going right now. But
was it Rev Pro?
No, it wasn't Rev Pro.
Five?
It was a 3 initial, 1 to 5. It was a 3 initial one.
No.
Paul find it. But
I'm still digging. Hold on, boys. It's been a long couple of weeks.
Looking at that, I think it's a severe sprain. and I think we're going to see him in that boot for the next week or two. I don't think we'll get the full-blown Kevin Nash where he comes out of a wheelchair type deal.
So you don't think it's broken 3 places like you said it was tonight?
If you break it in 3 places and tear ligaments, you would have had surgery already within a week if you're a professional athlete.
Fair.
They would not delay that surgery.
I was hoping for the best when it was said last week after Dynamite he was on crutches and not already in a boot or a wheelchair. But I am no medical professional, so.
Paul is a medical professional because he stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last weekend.
Oh, good for you, Paul.
I did?
As Paul's scrolling through that, I'll get into our next match, which was a triple threat for the number 1 contender for the AEW International Championship. It was Nick Jackson, Brian Cage, and Claudio Castagnoli. You're thinking, who doesn't fit in this match? That would be the tag team specialist, Nick Jackson himself, who is the little guy compared to these 2 big muscular guys. But surprisingly, in the end, we see Nick Jackson pull out the win in a match that was very entertaining the whole time, I thought this match stole the show tonight.
DPW.
DPW. Thank you, Paul.
Yes. I overlooked it the first time I scrolled past it.
We saw Nick pin Brian Cage during this match, but a lot of fun spots. Crazy suplex by Brian Cage to Claudio. Saw Claudio do the swing to Brian Cage. Nick Jackson doing Nick Jackson things out there. So next week it's Nick Jackson, Ray Phoenix, a rematch from Indianapolis Dynamite 2019, which Paul and I were there for, but this time for the International Championship. So that match will be awesome next week.
Yes, it will. I'm looking forward to it. These guys always put on a good match. I still think they stole the show in Indy when we were there.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've already got a feeling that one of my wrestlers of the week next week is going to come from that match.
It was really weird to see both Bucks in singles action tonight.
It was different.
Yeah,
It was different.
Not a bad different. It was just different. We then got Adam Cole and MJF, Better New Baby, addressing the fans. That's where Cole admits this is a sad chapter of the story as he got hurt really bad last week. As his ankle is broken in 3 different places and tore ligaments, he has to go to get surgery. There's nothing more soul-crushing than this. He'll do whatever it takes to get back as soon as possible. Cole points out because of that, they can't defend their ROH tag titles against the Righteous, but then MJF cuts him off. He asks the fans if they want to see them relinquish the titles to the Righteous. They say no, so MJF said it's his fault. Cole got hurt as he needed him last week. He knows how much the ROH tag titles mean to Cole, so he wants to keep them waiting until he returns. He said he will slide into Seattle and defend the titles in a handicap match and they'll win. Roderick Strong then appears yelling at him. Adam! Screaming for him. He needs Cole more than ever. He said it's an emergency. MJF says Strong is a simp, which got a simp chant from the crowd. He says, but Cole's his boy, and he respects that, so he can go do what he needs to do, but he'll be waiting for him when he comes back.
There's one thing that annoys me more than Roderick Strong and this gimmick of him screaming at him. You guys know what it is?
Nope.
Rick Knox's pants.
Another performer.
Oh,
come on, you guys should know this on the top of your tongue. What I threatened to quit about?
Oh, Big Bill.
Yeah, I rate this Roderick Strong and his screaming of Adam in the surgical gown. I rate that right up there with naming the dumbass Big Bill.
I kind of like it because he's so annoying. I hate him, and he's finally got a character. For years, Roderick Strong had no character whatsoever.
That's true.
Because he doesn't. Roderick Strong is a great professional wrestler.
He is.
Okay. But outside of that, he can't do anything. And no offense to the guy. I'm not trying to be harping on him, but he's just not entertaining when you take him outside of the ring. You put him in the ring with a guy like Adam Cole, with a guy like Bobby Fish, guys that he has worked with and paired up with. Yeah, he's awesome. He's great. But other than that, I'm sorry. His voice, his promos are just they're shit. So
At least Matt Taven and Mike Bennett get on TV this way.
Matt Taven and Mike Bennett could be really, really good. And I don't know how long we've talked about ROH in this podcast. It's been a year or two, but I have always been a Matt Taven fan. I think Matt Taven's a great, great talent. But
Speaking of ROH, we got an interesting comment on the video I posted yesterday from the WrestleDream media call with Tony Khan. And let me see if I can find it now. Of course, it's not going to let me pull it up, is it? Well, as I'm trying to find that, we'll talk about this next segment, which was Jay White comes out and confronts MJF, and they have a long back and forth promo. It's just really good back and forth. I mean, the MJF had the crowd in the palm of his hands, but I thought Jay White held his own. Pretty much setting up, I think, what's going to be the full gear match. Jay White and MJF for the AEW Championship, which I think will be awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not even going to make predictions, but I will tell you, I don't care the outcome of that match. It's going to be spectacular. There are a few matches that are like that for me, and this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Really good indeed. Your thoughts, Shep, on that segment?
It was a good segment, and I don't want to dive into it because I think that would maybe give a little bit into my predictions. So,
okay, all right, fair enough.
Now, the only thing I will say, I think MJF kicked the living shit out of Jay White on the mic tonight. Not that Jay White was that bad. MJF was that good.
Oh, he was on a whole nother level tonight compared to normal. Yes, I agree with you.
He was. Not that Jay White was bad. Okay.
No, Jay White was spectacular, but
he held
MJF nailed it.
But MJF was on top of it. So super I think some people would think that segment ran a little long.
I thought it ran a little long.
Okay, so guys like Tanner thought it ran a little long.
Well, I thought it was good, but I thought it was a little long.
But I thought it was really, really good. And MJF came out looking better. If he could look even better than he did, it happened tonight.
I found the comment because we were talking about ROH titles a little bit. It comes from at KWYJIBO on then _ on YouTube. And he's a guy who watches a lot of our videos, so appreciate when he has comments. But he wanted us to talk about this on tonight's pod, so I said we would. He said, ROH request from me to your podcast today. ROH titles held by AEW guys are too much. Also, they're really bad at introduction of ROH wrestlers. For example, I have no idea who the Righteous were until 1 to 2 weeks before when they started pushing them. All of a sudden, now they are having an AEW title match. They need to slowly start splitting the brands. I have a hard time following all the AEW shows alone. No time or interest to even follow ROH too. I can't be the only one with this problem.
He does.
He makes a lot of good points.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good points.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge ROH fan, but I do not follow ROH television on the streaming.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
On the Honor Club, I watch it off of the spoilers and the dirt sheets.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I see the highlights on Twitter X and other social media. Yep. I have not paid for Honor Club, and I don't know. It's just
so
more content out there.
That if we go back to our last predictions and I pick Kingston over Claudio, that had a lot to do with my pick. Just being Claudio to me is an AEW guy, not an ROH guy.
Right.
And I think they have to have a little bit of a line there to separate them. So going into this pay-per-view, which we'll talk about later, it makes sense because we don't have Claudio on there, and we have Kingston versus another ROH guy. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of another reason I struggled to pick Hangman and the Bucks for the trios because they're AEW guys. I
Right.
mean, unless you're making a big, huge push for your next ROH pay-per-view, it makes no sense.
But here's my defense on that, okay? Because I picked the Bucks, right? And I won champion right there. Hey, Paul, you see that right there, champion?
No, sorry, I'm blind tonight.
No, the reason I made that pick was because Brian Cage and the Samoans, whatever they're called,
Mogul
Embassy,
they're not entertaining. They're not entertaining like Kingston is. They don't have real life promos like Kingston. I could give two you-know-whats about them. So my pick was the Hung Bucks because those three guys don't mean what diddly to me. Now, are they good performers? Do they look good? Yeah, whatever. But right now on television, they suck. So it was a great decision to take the belts off of them because now we don't have to listen to them.
I agree with you, Paul. I think maybe the move was to do some ROH pay-per-view buys with some big names holding the titles. But also there's a rumor of, Tony adding another pay-per-view in December. I saw Sean Ross Sapp today on the hump with him and Jimmy Van was speculating. Maybe it was just pure speculation out of him. He said he doesn't know anything, but maybe they do a pay-per-view in New York in December and do a lot of title versus title matches. ROH title versus AEW. Think about it. MJF, if he's still the title holder, Kingston, both from New York against each other. That could be a big time draw. But what I'm fighting with is we saw this promo, the advertisement for WrestleDream, saying that kind of an end of an era and the beginning of a new era is coming in AEW on Sunday. Is that going to be related to ROH somehow?
Or could this be the final pay-per-view on Bleacher Report?
That could be, or is it going to be an emerging debuting talent or two? Is it all three combined? I don't know. I've been going back and forth. Like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
hope,
we're finally getting a streaming deal.
Yeah.
I hope Tanner's correct, but I think Paul's right. I think it's going to go from Bleacher Report to
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope we still get a surprise appearance
Or two.
No, I'm going with one, and I hope it's Adam Copeland. So
show up, show off.
You don't think Mercedes?
I don't think she's healthy yet, is she?
I don't know. She's got to be getting close.
I mean, you talk about a broken ankle. It was her.
Well, she had a cryptic tweet the other day on our Instagram post. So,
and
I don't know.
Well, if you look at WrestleDream, I do not want her in the Statlander feud.
No. If you bring her in, she's got to be against Saraya.
Correct.
And they got a lot of history together.
And maybe we'll get that on Collision or Rampage.
Good.
Maybe we'll get Saraya involved, but right now Saraya's not on the bingo card.
No, she's not. I just feel like, though, if you bring in one of those talents in or both, you got to do it on a pay-per-view, don't you? You can't do it on a Dynamite or a Rampage or a Collision.
I mean, Tony Khan thinks outside the box, and
he does.
I completely understand. We have a good pay-per-view coming this Sunday.
It's a hell of a card.
We have a good pay-per-view, and if that pay-per-view bangs it out of the park, which I think it could, you turn around and have Adam Copeland show up on Wednesday night. You talk about a snowball effect.
Yeah, because I think AEW is getting some good momentum going right now. The ratings of Collision Saturday were really good, and that's up against college football. So I know the CM Punk fans are going to hate me right now, but so far, the loss of Punk's not really impacting the ratings like a lot of people thought it was going to.
Let's also talk about the big deal of SmackDown leaving Fox and going to USA,
which could shake up everything because
they're saying that NXT and Raw could actually basically go to a streaming, as in Peacock, not be on live television.
Well, and if I'm WWE, and it's really weird to think about this because the branding is Monday Night Raw and always has been, but if I'm them, I look into maybe getting away from Monday nights because the NFL kills them for 4 to 5 months a year, just kills them.
You say that, and a couple of your buddies said that they could move Raw to Wednesday night. And the only reason they would do that is to go head to head with Dynamite.
Sure.
And at this point, if Raw was on a streaming device, I think Dynamite would win.
I do too.
I do too.
WWE has the power to stack that Raw.
Right.
Okay. And we've seen that in the last 14 days.
But we've also seen Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody against the Judgment Day 5 billion times in a row.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not even going to do a Cody segment tonight, boys. Just to let you know.
Well, really?
I wasn't planning on it.
Okay, well, all right, that's fine.
Was there anything? I don't know. I don't
want to talk about what Cody did this week. I want to talk about what's in the future.
We kind of did last week.
Well, it got even worse. I feel like it got even worse this week when they announced that the dirt sheet said Rock's going to be involved in Elimination Chamber.
I also read where that got shut down. So, but it is a big show in Australia, so it's a stadium show.
Yeah, live at 6 a.m.
And Cena's involved, and I don't know. Anyways, hey, what's the up? I mean, we're only 42 minutes and 56 seconds in. What's that?
We got predictions too. So what's next was a segment I really enjoyed. I've been on record saying this time and time again. I like when Jim Ross does sit down interviews. This is what he's really good at. And this was a good one tonight between Darby Allin and Christian Cage. It got real personal because Jim Ross was saying, "Hey, this guy's already beat you twice, Christian." Christian said his losses to Allin were flukes. They were non-title matches, but he will win on Sunday. He knows that Allin is nowhere near the man he is. Allin uses his body as a weapon, and he asked for this match to see what Allin could do when he had to wrestle. Christian then asked if I couldn't believe he went. I could believe he went there, but he asked if Darby's uncle will be in attendance as he reveals that Darby's uncle is dead. However, Darby says that he doesn't impact who he is today. Christian can't beat him in Seattle. He's won the title there before, so he'll do it again. Christian then tells Darby to bring all of his family, but Darby says he is doing it on his own, and Christian said if he had the balls, he would do it on his own. Cage then says Nick Wayne needs a real mentor, not someone who hides behind the face paint, and he will always be the TNT champion, and Darby can get used to it. But then Darby starts wiping off the face paint. I thought that was a good touch. Be interesting to see if he comes out without face paint on Sunday for once.
Yeah. I enjoyed this segment.
Think of that, but that's a good point, Tanner.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, it would be weird, but for this match, it makes sense. And I mean, it was just really good. I've enjoyed this feud. I mean, we've seen it a lot, but it just got really personal there, like big time. So 2 out of 3 falls is gonna be fun.
I always like when Christian brings up dead family members. I know that sounds very dark and twisted, and
it adds to the story.
Yeah, because that tells you it's personal. I mean, you could say, "Oh, so sorry to hear that your dad left your mom when you were a kid," but okay, but to go, well, your dad's dead. How's your mom doing? I mean, it's a whole nother level.
And he always gets me to laugh. He talks about Nick Wayne's mom again. He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll message her and make sure she's there."
Tanner laughed at this dark promo.
I did laugh at that part.
Wow.
So, but it's interesting layers too. You got Nick Wayne, you got Luchasaurus, who he finally got to hold that title Saturday night just for a brief moment. It seemed to really like it, so we could see a wrinkle in there too. I know Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne are supposed to stay out of the way, but we'll see if they really do.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, good stuff.
2 out of 3.
Good stuff. We then see what the IWC was calling the Big Brother match, because Matt Jackson's the older brother of Nick Jackson. Austin Gunn's the older brother of Colton Gunn, and then Penta El Zero Miedo is the older brother of Ray Phoenix. But then Orange Cassidy's not really the brother of Hook, but if he was, he's older. So, four-way match here. A lot of back and forth, a lot of good spots. I really like the Matt Jackson locomotive suplex, double suplex spot in trying to pin all 3 guys. I thought that was good. Enjoyed Cassidy going off the top rope, doing it lazy onto the outside of the ring. And then Taz and Excalibur were both on one tonight. They were having a blast.
I think they enjoyed the local recreation tonight.
I think you're right. And Taz said, I used to do dives like that. And Excalibur
First
says,
he steals my color,
steals
then
your
my
colors,
dive.
then your dives, and then
my son.
And then he goes, and my son, and then Excalibur just loses it. They were having a blast tonight. In the end, we saw Orange Cassidy hit Matt Jackson with the orange punch and take the win.
So both Jackson boys pick up a victory tonight in singles competition.
Orange got the victory.
Or yeah, that's what I meant. My brain farted for a minute there.
Which wasn't a surprise that Orange won.
No. This didn't affect my predictions any one way or the other, but I do have comments on my prediction when we get to it.
So with the injury of Mox, and we know what kind of run Orange had. I know Phoenix has already taken this Sunday, but he's not taken on Collision on Saturday, right?
I didn't see him on the graphic.
No. So I think it's a really good time to put the belt back on Orange.
But they already advertised Phoenix against Nick Jackson next Wednesday.
Well, you can change that graphic.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to change that one. So
I don't know. I really do. I think nothing against Phoenix. Super talented, super good professional wrestler, super good luchador, I should say.
Why don't you just put it on Mox when he comes back?
Have Phoenix hold it until Mox comes back, have a rematch, put it back on Mox, and then go forward with your plans.
Because I think you could have a multiple match feud with Mox and Orange.
They did put on a banger, so
they did
all out.
And I think you could string that out with 2 or 3 weeks, and you could have some gimmicks in the match where they get bloody, and because it's Mox. Mm-hmm. But I think you could really have a good story there. So, and Orange is starting to talk a little bit on the mic,
mm-hmm.
which makes it even better. Phoenix.
I don't have a catchphrase.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I'm sure he's selling a shit ton of merch on that, by the way.
Yeah, how's that going, Tanner?
I'm looking up right now.
Phoenix, he doesn't talk, so I don't know. I think that'd be a good match for Collision, and you can move that belt, because right now that belt's a hot potato because it wasn't supposed to change last week. My 2 cents.
Well, the top sellers for the week, it is in the top sellers for the week, but it's 5, 10, it's 12th. His yearbook photo is 11th, but the top seller for the week is the live event mystery grab bag shirt, and number 2 is the Jade Cargill exclusive action figure.
She gone.
Yeah, and that's why it's top seller. And then Better Than You Babies, number 3, MJF Smojo title, Grand Slam title posters, 4, Bullet Club goals, 5, Tony Storm chin up, tits out, number 6. Bang Bang Gang 7, Brochachos for Life 8. Let's see for the month, though. Let's see. Monthly. Monthly. It is 8 for the month. And CM Punk has 2 in the top 6 for the month.
Yeah. They got to get rid of that stock.
Yep. And for the year, just while we're on it, that's cool. Jay Briscoe's still number 1 for the year. Sure.
Ah.
Followed by Better Than You, Baby, then Scissor Me Daddy Ass, then the mystery grab back shirt, and then number 5's Bullet Club Gold. So, yep. Yep, cool. Cool. Up next, the lone women's match of the night, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. Julia Hart comes out with a really cool entrance, just like the House of Black always does, but which I don't know if you guys saw this today on social media. Malachi did an interview, and he was asked about back injury. He said his back's fine. Those rumors are false. He said he's on the shelf with a calf injury, but he's soon to be back. And they were asking about his lack of singles matches, and he had no explanation why he's only wrestled 10 singles matches since he debuted in AEW. So I got the sense he wants to wrestle more singles matches. But Julia Hart came out with Brody King, really cool entrance, and then Will Nightingale wasn't her bubbly, happy self because she had her eye covered after the miss, so she wasn't smiling, wasn't clapping like anything. She immediately attacked Julia Hart with a lot of aggressiveness. But Hart leaped on her back and exposed the eye and then attacked her herself. Went back and forth for a little bit. Towards the end of the match, we saw Will Nightingale was mocking Brody King's bark, but then Julia Hart avoided the stampede by pulling herself up, and she followed it with a beautiful moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. And Statlander came out afterwards because she was holding a submission on Nightingale. Then Statlander went to charge her. Julia Hart rolled out of the ring and then hid behind Brody King. So we will see those two face each other Sunday at WrestleDream for the TBS Championship, which Julia Hart's won 17 matches in a row. Her last loss came to Chris Statlander. So
it'll be interesting.
I thought for a women's match, this sounds bad. Don't judge me. But they were really good tonight. If you compare it to the last, 5 or 6 women's matches we've gotten on Dynamite, these girls did a way better job. They took it above. So I thought it was really entertaining. Thought they both did a great job. The more I see Willow Nightingale, and I think I've said this a couple times, I think that girl can be the face of the women's division. She is super athletic. She has the charisma. That's the big thing, the charisma. She has it. So.
Yeah.
She's
yeah, it was good. It was good. And I could see both sides. I could see why you guys might pick Julia Hart, why you might pick Chris Statlander for Sunday. We'll get into our WrestleDream predictions here shortly. As we talk about the last segment of the show, AEW loves to have Hangman Page contract signings be the last segment of the Dynamite. And that's what we got here in the Go Home episode for WrestleDream. Swerve Strickland, Adam Page contract signing. But Swerve with the ultimate heel move to begin before it went to commercial break, not letting Prince Nana do his dance. Cuts him off, which Prince Nana I tweeted about from our account. Prince Nana actually retweeted that tonight. So, because Prince Nana is over with the crowd and his Swerve dance moves, but not tonight. These two went back and forth on the mic a long time. Pretty much Swerve said he's impressed with Adam Page's fire, but says far too late for that. Page is walking into the Lion's Den is unlike anything he's ever dealt with. They couldn't be more opposite. Swerve says he never wanted to be the wrestler that Page is. Page said it's good Strickland is fired up. What he said previously stunned him, but he's glad that Strickland said what he said. He knew that something was up with him deep down because for a year and a half he felt there was a black cloud over his head. Sure, the sun would shine. He beat Moxley in Texas Death Match. He reunited with the Elite. Felt he should have been the happiest man in the world, but that cloud would come back. He knew for as long as God let it rain on him, he didn't dare open the umbrella. but he's still here. The downpour washed something out of him, whether that was passion, determination, or hope. He's come to realize the fans deserve more from him and they deserve the best of him. He deserves it for himself too, and that's what Swerve will get at WrestleDream. Swerve says that was the most pathetic thing he's ever seen. He says this isn't personal, it's just Paige is in the position he wants and the truth to be told. He might have mental health issues because he makes an enemy every day as that fuels him. He's going to take his position from him, and he points out that it rains a lot in Seattle. Paige says he has knocked every opportunity he has out of the park, and Swerve doesn't have what it takes to fill his boots. Swerve then slaps Paige, and he signs the contract Hangman, and then Hangman fires back by stabbing him in the hand with a pin. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting segment.
Also, did you guys catch the nod to Lucha Underground by Swerve during the segment? By chance.
I did not.
I didn't either.
There was they talked about what's a buckshot to a kill shot. That was Swerve's character in Lucha Underground was kill shot.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Went
and
right
then-
over my head.
And then I thought the show was going off the air like that, but then backstage we see Jay White being jumped by a bunch of guys, dressed in all black with masks. And then there's a masked man, which was the previous MJF devil mask, is shown grabbing the camera.
Oh, we're not doing
As
Join the
Dynamite
Dark Order?
goes off the air. I don't think it was the Dark Order.
Well, that was their gimmick, when they couldn't throw punches.
So that's what I was afraid of at first, but it was a lot more realistic than that. So what were your guys' thoughts on the contract signing and then the cliffhanger ending?
Yeah, I have never been a big fan of contract signings on TV because we only do it for a handful of matches. So, why does Hangman and Swerve get a contract signing, but Eddie Kingston doesn't get one with Shibata, or
Right.
FTR doesn't get one with Aussie Open? If you're going to do contract signings, it's got to be for every match or exclusively for championship matches.
Well, and I feel like I would still be surprised if this is the main event. I think the main event's going to be Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson,
Yep.
Absolutely.
but I could be wrong.
I thought Swerve looked mediocre in this promo, and the reason is when Hangman would talk and he would try to laugh, like his laugh was so fake.
Yeah.
And I thought it just downgraded the segment. I thought Hangman looked really good, and Swerve maybe not as good as Hangman in the promos if you go back to forth. But we're kind of spoiled because we got a 10-minute promo of MJF and Jay White going back and forth. That was really, really good. And then we get these two guys, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of Swerve, but I was fired up about his comments about my Broncos, so which is good. That's what heel's supposed to do. So,
But as
suck.
they do suck.
And I'm coming from a Colts fan, which I thought we're going to suck, and somehow we're 2-1. But whatever.
Yeah, NFL's funny sometimes.
We'll talk.
because Matt Gay can kick.
He can kick. He can kick the living shit out of a ball.
He's the next boomstick.
Yeah. But the closing segment I
Yes.
really enjoyed. I get having the camera start so far away because you don't realize it's happening. You're rushing up on it. At first, I didn't realize who was getting attacked. I thought maybe it was one of the Bucks and the Mogul Embassy was attacking because of the fact that we just had MJF or Hangman and Swerve. But as soon as they saw or showed Jay White, I went, well, Max just reminded him he knows who he is. He hasn't gone soft.
I'm not so sure that was Max.
It's not.
Well,
Max. That dude
Hey,
was
see-
way skinnier and not built like Max. Way skinnier.
right. Now, like I said, initial. Okay, maybe
Yes.
I didn't say
Now.
initial, but
Now,
when the close-up got on him, I went, okay, that's not Max. This is a setup to make it look like Max.
So
To drive
there's one
that
guy that
wedge.
there's one guy I would love to see, Jay White, but I think Adam Copeland is bigger than the guy we saw.
Yeah.
It's not Adam Copeland.
No.
I think they want us to think it's Adam Cole. And they want us to think that the injury could be a setup.
It wasn't CM Punk either.
Wasn't CM Punk.
No.
I have seen two theories out there. IWC, and I'll share with you. One thinks the attackers could be LFI,
Okay.
which is Rouge, Preston Vance.
Bruce and Preston Vance are way bigger.
But it could have been
Hired help.
some other. Yeah, they have some other members too, or somebody thinks it's Finley. And Bullet Club's coming in to start a war from New Japan.
So we get a little Finn juice action.
Which, I mean, yeah, well, on the opposite sides, that's Juice Robinson's Bullet Club Gold.
That makes a lot more sense.
It's Cody. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I definitely don't think it's Max.
No. And I think that's what we'll see next week on Dynamite.
It's not Stokely this time. It's not Stokely.
No. We'll see. We'll see a pre-shot segment of Adam and Max talking, and Adam will be scolding him. Why'd you do that? I thought we were over this. Yada yada yada. And Max will say, "It wasn't me. I mean, I would have loved to have done that, but being your friend has shown me the nicer way of life," type of deal.
Well, could we see more of this on Sunday? Could this intertwine into the start of a new era? Whatever that means. I mean, if it is a whole bunch of guys coming from New Japan or something, maybe the rumors are true. Maybe Tony bought New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big rumor.
Yeah, there's a rumor out there. He didn't deny it, but he just kind of said he'd like to know how the rumor got started.
Who started that rumor?
Yeah. So, I don't know, but I like the cliffhangers. That reminds me of what WCW, when it was good, used to do all the time. So, make you want to tune in next week. So, no, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Ton of cliffhangers on Monday Night Nitro.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that.
Yep. All right, so rating for tonight's show.
Have at it, champ.
7.6.
All right. So a little lower than last week. You had 8.2 last week.
Yeah. I didn't like the finishing segment with the contract signing. I thought MJF and Jay White stole the show. I also thought Jeff Jarrett performed really good with a luchador there as well. So, I mean, wasn't a bad show. Just it was okay.
Paul?
I'm a little higher, 7.9. I enjoyed a lot of this. I loved the cliffhanger. Actually brought it up for me a lot because I was a lot lower than this. But the fact that you shared Sid Vicious's response to Goldberg smashing his car
99.
kind of ending on a cliffhanger, the way WCW like to do things, and then we get this today. The contract signing should have been first, but I enjoyed the show thoroughly. Good setup for Sunday.
This show was better than I thought it was going to be. Coming into tonight, I'm looking at the card. I'm like, we only have 2 matches. We're going to hear from a lot of people. It's not going to be the greatest go-home show, and it exceeded my expectations. So no surprise here. I'm going to be the highest of the bunch. Not as high as I was last week. I think last week I was 8.8 or 8.9. I think I was 8.8 last week. I'm going 8.1 this week. So it is in the 8s for me. But No, I thought it was a solid show.
If the contract signing would have been first, I would have been in the 8s, but I almost turned it off and came downstairs because I knew how it was going to end and just started getting ready for the podcast. And I just said, all right, I'll wait a minute longer. And then we got the closing segment. So I'm glad I caught it.
And it's so smart of AEW to do something like that, because now in the future, when you're thinking about shutting it off, you're going to double think. Think, oh, wait, they might leave me with a surprise at the end. Yeah, because they even had the credits come up and everything.
Oh, yeah, they closed out the show down at the bottom, everything.
Yep.
And then it switched.
Yep. So, all right, Wrestler of the Night.
Well, Shep's thinking, so I'll go because I'm always entertained by this guy, and it's nice to see him pick up a singles victory. Nick Jackson.
Good pick. Took my pick, bastard.
All I could think throughout the match, though, is he just needs to bring back Merch Freak.
Mine is nowhere close to you guys, but thought he was over the top, great tonight. MJF.
All right.
Okay. All right. I almost went with MJF, honestly.
And we've got a lot of really good segments out of him of late, and we can go back before we even get into the Adam Cole stuff. That guy is so good on the mic with such less experience than most. And when he got in the ring tonight with Jay White has way more experience than MJF. But MJF held his own, if not made him look bad. So, yeah, MJF, and I had it wrote down here before you guys even said it. I had my score wrote down, and I had him MJF wrote down as my guy of the night.
Part of me was going to take Jay White because I still think he held his own in the promo battle, and he's a heck of a talent. But I'm going to go with two guys into one just because I said I can. Christian Cage and Darby Allin. Both.
That was a good backstage segment.
Both.
Yes, it was.
Yep, they brought some passion tonight, and I really liked that. It got me more fired up for the match going into Sunday than I was. So that's what it was intended to do. So.
Yep.
All right, predictions time.
Let's do this. I'm going to take the lead here off of your hands, Tanner. And
all right,
I am going to read out the matches. And Shep, we're going to start with you with the first match since you are the defending champion. So for those who have never joined us before, what we do is we go through the matches. We decide who we think is going to win the match, and then we give kind of a confidence rating. Tonight, we're predicting for 10 matches. So you could see a number 10, you could see a number 1, you could see something in between. Yes. And we cannot repeat the confidence pick points. So we only have 10 numbers to choose from each match.
Yep.
So with that being said, I'm going off of Wikipedia for this, where they have their matches. I'm reading it in order. I'm hoping this isn't the way the card goes, but this is how it's listed. Starting us off first, what we're all hoping is the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Shep.
Wow. Right off the bat, I get to pick this one first?
Yeah.
All right. I got Bryan Danielson for 3.
Okay. Tanner?
I got Bryan Danielson for 5.
Wow, I'm the oddball here. I got Sabre for 2.
What? Why? I'm just curious. Not saying it's a bad pick because that could turn the whole thing away, but I'm just curious. Why.
Just because, I mean, they're both fantastic wrestlers.
Oh, they are.
But this match has been rumored so many times, and I think the original plan, Danielson was huge in AEW when the first match was coming around. I think the original plan was originally to have Sabre go over. So I'm sticking with that.
Okay. All right.
All right. Up next, we've got Hangman Adam Page taking on Swerve Strickland. Tanner?
I have Swerve Strickland for 3.
Shep.
I have Hangman for 2.
I have Hangman for 3.
This was a tough one for me. I just think Swerve has got to get a big victory one of these days.
You know what?
And I feel like this is time.
I agree with you, Tanner, until I listened to him on the mic tonight, and it sucked. Sorry.
And I know we have differing opinions. I think a lot of Swerve. I know you're not a big Swerve fan. I really think he's a future heavyweight champion in the waiting.
His in-ring work, don't get me wrong, he's awesome. He can work with the best.
Yes.
I just cringe when he's talking tonight and he's got them fake gold teeth up there. It doesn't do it.
It's not your thing. Not your thing.
Not my thing.
And here lately, if you look at things, Hangman's not been losing.
It's true.
He has not lost the big one here in a while. So the Battle Royal kind of, or the over the budget charity Battle Royal kind of changed things around for him. And I think we're going to keep riding this for a little bit longer. All right. Up next, the match Shep's most excited about. FTR versus Aussie Open. And Shep, take us with your pick.
FTR for 8.
Tanner.
I have FTR for 7.
I have FTR for 9. I don't think it's time for them to drop the belts yet, honestly.
No.
That's going to be a fun match, though. It's going to be a fun match.
It is.
Aussie
It's one of
Open,
those, I don't care
guys-
the outcome of this match. It's going to be a fantastic match either way.
those guys, the last, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so good. Yeah.
Anybody else have any more comments? I know we all picked FTR, so there's not much to comment on about this match.
I really enjoyed the segment on Collision with them, with Dax getting on his knees and begging them to pretty much bring it.
Yeah.
I love what FTR is doing, giving these younger tag teams chances and building them up, but yet getting the wins. It's great run FTR's on.
Up next, we've got the 2-on-1 handicap match for the ROH World Tag Team Championships. MJF versus The Righteous. Tanner.
Well, this threw me a curveball tonight with this getting changed from a 2-on-2 tag match to a 2-on-1 handicap. But I think for storyline purposes, and he's your world champion, MJF finds a way to win. I got MJF for 6.
Ooh, all right. All right, champ, what do you got?
MJF for 6.
All right, I guess I'm the oddball out here. I've got The Righteous for 7.
Oh, boy.
That's a
I
little
just
bit of-
don't think he can overcome it.
I just think it's a bad look if your champion loses.
Yeah.
But
And-
if he does have to lose, it is a 2-on-1 disadvantage, I guess.
That's
kinda
the only way.
I kind of thought with the start of the Jay White promo going, okay, the Bullet Club's going to cost MJF in the tag match. Like, I can see that, right? And I have a bunch of scribbles on my paper. At the end of the show, I changed it all. More scribbles on my paper, but I kept MJF there. So I think he pulls it out somehow.
Yep, I'm with you, Shep.
All right. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't win my belt because of that. But up next, we've got.
No, it's
Yeah, you heard me. No, it's my belt.
my
I
belt.
will be your champion again Sunday night.
Wait, what does it say right there, Paul?
It says the Shep.
What below that?
It's a picture of a person's head.
You're a shithead.
Says
All right.
Shepherd Chevy GMC.
Next,
6-man tag team match. We've got Chris Jericho and the Golden Elite taking on the Don Callis family. Go ahead. Go ahead, Shep.
I got Don Callis family for 4.
Tanner.
I got Don Callis family for 4.
Man, we are just not agreeing at all. I got Jericho and the Golden Elite for 4.
Why is that, Paul?
Kenny's done nothing but lose here lately. I'm hoping he wins. It's just kind of a hope shot at this point.
The reason I'm thinking Callis family, I think this feud with Callis and Takeshita and Kenny goes into 2024. We see Jericho and Takeshita are set up for a match. I don't remember if it's October or November. So I think they got to prolong this a little bit.
And I mean, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, which is the Omega Jericho aspect of this. And I'm just hopeful that this pays off for Jericho and Omega.
Yep.
I mean, no offense to Kota
And also,
Ibushi.
I don't think Osprey's going to lose. And this is another
Yeah, I
way they
know.
could have set up Osprey and Omega again if they wanted to do it Wrestle Kingdom again.
Or you could have Kenny pin Osprey, and then Osprey say, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! That was 6-man action. I
Good.
want to do this one more time, 1-on-1."
Good. There's a lot of fun layers about this match. A lot of fun layers.
All right. Up next is the 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW TNT Championship. Christian Cage defends against Darby Allin. Tanner.
This was a tough one. I was going back and forth. I know it's in Seattle, but what tipped my hat tonight was Darby's like, I've already won the title in Seattle. I can do it again. Christian Cage for 1.
Okay. Shep.
I got Christian Cage for 5.
Man, if this title changes hands this time, it's going to be like big numbers. I got Darby for 5.
All right. And since we haven't really talked about it, and it's a rumor around this match, do we see Adam Copeland debut Sunday?
Yes. Wait,
Yeah.
is that a bonus?
No.
Do we do
No.
a 5-point bonus? I'm the champion.
No.
I can make that rule. Hold on. Calm down, Paul.
It cost you your championship last time, Shep. Be careful with that.
It did. It did. You're a good point. All right, I'll calm down.
Majin's got him for 6. Majin, I hope you win this thing, man.
Hey, I hope Majin had fun at the hockey game. He said he was going to the Jets Flames preseason game tonight, so he must be back.
Oh, all right.
Good. Hey, tell Marty McSorley I said hi.
Okay, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think we see Adam Copeland Sunday. For the
You
record.
do?
I think we
Yep.
do too. And
You want to put 5 points on that, Paul?
no, I do not.
Paul, Shep, it's you and me who are agreeing on a lot of things. Paul's a landslide away from us.
That is a good point.
I don't think we've. We disagreed on Swerve Hangman, so there shouldn't be any exact
Highs.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Copeland will get involved if he does show up, and it will be simply because Luchasaurus and Nick are banned from ringside, or they're not supposed to be there.
I could see
So
Luchasaurus turning on Christian.
Not yet.
I like him so much better as a heel though than I did
Yes.
when he was a face.
If he turns on him, he needs to turn on him and stay heel and just go off on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
That's the only
Luchasaurus
way.
where he turns heel. Wait, he is heel.
Yeah.
I like where Luchasaurus just goes off of TV and we don't see him like for a while.
He goes on Big Brother again.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Shep might be okay with Luchasaurus coming back right after you become okay with. Man, his name just left me. The third member of Jurassic Express.
Well, Marco Stunt.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh,
It's been too long since we brought his name up on the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, but I should know it because he's your favorite wrestler.
Nah,
I mean,
last
you
time I
love
saw
him.
Marco Stunt was getting thrown against a Velcro board by Jordan Belfort.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Majin asked if anyone was going to put points on what theme Adam will use. Oh, Metalingus. WWE doesn't own those
Metalingus.
rights, so he's got to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Got to use that. It's one of the best themes ever.
Mm-hmm. All right. The next match, singles match for the ROH World Championship and a New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship. Eddie Kingston defending against Shibata. Shep, who you got?
Eddie Kingston for 9.
Oh, Tanner.
I got Eddie Kingston for 10.
Wow. I'm the low man on the totem pole. I got Kingston for 8. It's for both titles.
I don't see any way Eddie loses this.
Not
If
yet.
it was only for the ROH, I might have picked Shibata, but All right. A match I think is another one of those that I don't care. It's going to be a good match. So whoever actually wins, it'll be good either way. It's the TBS Championship match. Chris Statlander defends against Julia Hart. Tanner.
Oh, I've been back and forth on this one, even though it's a high pointer for me, but I'm taking Statlander for 8.
Shep.
I got Statlander for 7.
Makes me feel better. I'm not going to lie.
Right. So originally I picked Julia. I did. The match tonight made me change my mind. And so I'm going Statlander for 10.
All right, I don't feel bad anymore. So now I am rooting for Julia Hart now.
Wow.
I'm still rooting for Julia Hart too, but I like Statlander too. This is one of those, I enjoy both of them. Hey, Majin's with me. Look at that. Statlander for 10.
Don't
he knows.
encourage him, Majin.
Yeah, don't do it.
Encourage me all you want. Future champion right here.
Oh, my God. You're going to get blown out of the water, my friend.
I'm either going to win this thing by a landslide or I'm going to get blown out of the water. There is no close call for me on this one, and that is okay. This is what we've always wanted, Tanner. We've been trying the entire KOP to get just opposite predictions. We always end up very close, one or two different, but this is going to be a good one.
Going in the last 2 matches,
Uh-huh.
the only difference Tanner and I have goes back to the Strickland Hangman match.
Yep.
That's the only difference Tanner and I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Danielson wins, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
If they open the show, if this goes in order of Wikipedia,
you're done, Paul. Actually, next week we might just do this without you. Like we're
okay.
Okay, you're done. Bye, Paul.
All right. Well, if that's the case, just let me know, boys. I'll fill in when Tanner's internet dies or whatever.
Yeah.
Can happen anytime.
I'm going to be here because I'm the champion. You guys.
Not for much longer.
Well.
There is no in between for me, Majin. None at all. I either win this or I lose it. All right. Up next, we've got the 4-way tag team match for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship. We've got the Young Bucks taking on the Guns, taking on the Lucha Bros, taking on Orange Cassidy and Hook.
Go first, Tanner.
Yeah, I forgot where we were at. So, Tanner, go first.
This match probably going to screw me because if I pick the Bucks, it's going to screw me. If I pick against the Bucks, it's going to screw me. With that said, I'm going with the Bucks for 2.
Oh.
Another match disagreement, or are we agreeing again?
It's going to come down to this match. I got Orange and Hook for 1.
Damn. If I didn't like my prediction for the final match, I would be switching it. I am exactly right there with you, Shep. Orange and Hook for 1. We have seen the other 3 teams already take on FTR. We have not seen these 2 take on FTR, and I think it would be a fantastic match.
Oh, and I'm not disagreeing with you guys at all. The interesting, I thought, stipulation for this match was the winner is number 1 contender for the title shot whenever they want, not necessarily Full Gear. But where's Full Gear at?
At Full Gear? I don't know. I haven't looked.
I have no idea.
It's in LA, right in the Bucks' backyard.
All right.
That was my thinking.
But They could still work their way back up.
But I will say, if the Bucks don't win, I think you guys are correct. I think Orange and Hook win. So.
But see, okay, you mentioned Full Gear in LA.
Yeah.
Hung Bucks ROH tag titles. They could
Yeah.
defend those and still.
They could. It just depends what they want to do in December. Do they want to run the ROH pay-per-view, or are they going to try a AEW pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Last match of the night, boys, because it is now officially Thursday here in Indiana.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Ricky Starks versus Wheeler Yuta. This match was announced tonight. Shep, who you got?
Well, in an hour and a half, the Ryder Cup kicks off,
It's true.
which I want to watch.
It starts in Friday. Friday,
Okay.
Saturday, Sunday.
I thought it was Thursday.
No.
Oh,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
never mind. I don't have to worry about it now. Anyways, I got Ricky Starks for 10 points.
All right. Tanner, what do you got?
I got Ricky for 9.
I got Ricky for 6. Yuta's the weak man of the BCC. He's trying to prove something, and I think we're going to see somebody else brought into the BCC soon, and Yuta's kind of going to get pushed out. He's done good, but he's kind of right back where he was when he was with the Best Friends. Oh, you lost another match. Here, watch this, and let's smack you around while you watch it.
Yeah.
Do something different with
It's
the
true.
kid.
It's true.
Put him on ROH exclusively. He would do fantastic there.
Yeah, I'm just so anxious to see what this new era, end of era, new era thing is Sunday, because is it ROH? Is it new debuting talents? Is it something to do with the finish of tonight's show? It's just, I
Is
feel
it that TK did buy New Japan?
right.
Yes.
Is it? Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's something, he's got something up his sleeve. He's got
Is
something
he
up his
now
sleeve.
the majority stockholder in TKO?
But see, like, I got conflicting, like, with the New Japan stuff. It'd be cool in one sense, but also it'd be going against what AEW is founded upon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, becoming a monopoly. So, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to Sunday's show. It's for a first time new event. Seattle should be a hot market for it at Climate Pledge Arena, where the Kraken play, and yeah, the card looks awesome. So I'm really looking forward to it. But surprised it's
Go
on
Kraken.
Sunday. I'm surprised it's on Sunday because TK does not like to go up against the NFL. So I'm surprised it's on Sunday, not Saturday.
Well,
When do the Jags play this week?
We got to do it on.
Sunday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So
But yeah,
Where do they play? Ooh.
they play who? Oh, they play in London.
Oh, okay.
There's the London game against the Falcons. So maybe that's
Okay.
why. Maybe he's not going over to that. So
I don't think he is. He shouldn't.
yeah, but it's
Nah,
Tony.
He's
He
going to be
doesn't sleep.
backstage. Yeah, I mean, he'll be walking backstage as the 0 hours winding down, going, all right, where are we at? Are we ready to go? Did anybody fight anybody backstage yet?
Well, that's a good point, Paul. But I think if you look at the time constraint, I don't think he can fly back
No,
in time. So
no.
It's Tony Khan. He'll just run across the water jacked up on coffee and cocaine.
wow.
We went there. All right.
I like Tony Khan, but I never accused him of snorting freaking hooters up his nose. But hey,
Well, you kind of have, but not
I
outright.
never directly said
never
it. I just
said
went the
that,
direct route tonight.
never said that. But meet my friend Paul.
Good stuff.
Air
Good
quotes
stuff.
there. Yeah. Mhm.
Good stuff.
Okay.
All right. Hey, but you know what? At least when I was the champion, I had the belt on my shoulder. This is twice you've been champion, 2 shows that only time you get to show the championship, and you don't have it either time.
Well, here's the deal. You don't have to be great to have a belt. So
oh,
I'm great.
oh.
We know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dominated the last couple times.
I got another belt back there I could bring out. I'm still champion.
I mean, yeah, you make your own belt, Paul.
I got one over there I can grab.
Well,
Yeah, the original KOP prediction.
No.
title.
This one's old Attitude Era belt. The Attitude Era championship.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's seen
I
better
thought maybe-
days.
I thought maybe you still had the original.
Nah,
KOP
I think
predictions belt.
that's in the trash somewhere. That thing was flimsy.
$20 well spent.
Yeah.
It worked until the good one arrived.
Anything else, boys, before we wrap up?
Nope. I just
I
think
don't have anything else.
you're a 3-4 time champion or whatever. We'll
doesn't even
retain going into WrestleDream, which I think is a really, really good pay-per-view.
Mhm.
I think it's one of those pay-per-views that Tony's going to build off of with his outside talent of AEW. So, yeah. Really excited going this weekend.
Tanner, I have homework for you.
Oh,
Oh boy.
This would be easier as you are more podcast knowledgeable than me. By the end of October, so I'll give you a whole month.
Okay.
I would like to see a graphic that shows how many times each of us have won the championship.
Yeah, I can do that.
Not necessarily when it changed hands or
Well,
anything.
just how many times?
Yeah, Tanner 4-time, Paul 10-time, Shep 4-time.
Paul 10-time my ass.
In my mind.
I think we've had from August to now. I think we've had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
to put this title
Yeah.
on, so
When KOP first started, it was once a quarter, and then we started getting built up, and then Shep came along. It just seems like we spend half our time doing predictions now.
I
think
love that I can ruin it. I ruined it for you.
I think the only pay-per-view we didn't do was it was me when I had the title. I didn't do an ROH.
Yeah, because he said, "Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know enough. I'm not going to defend. I'm not fighting champion."
Pretty much. So I just didn't put up on a Dynamite like you did. So
Hey, it was pay-per-view quality, and
It
you know
was.
what? I am not mad.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
We've had some Dynamites that are pay-per-view esque.
Yep.
So
And like I said at the beginning of the pod, if Tony and AEW are going over to Max and getting more pay-per-views, whether that's 8 to 12, this title could be changing hands like crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna actually have to start bringing it to the champions next time you win it, Tanner.
You're right.
In 2026,
I did bring it to you last
eventually.
time. It was just a
Yeah,
week late.
poor Shep didn't even get to hold the title last time he was champion.
I let him touch it.
Yes, well, you offered. I think he denied.
Okay.
well, I think it's in my office, right?
Yeah, it is in your office.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll send you guys pictures, and hopefully I'll send you Shawn Michael-esque pictures.
Oh God, no.
Yes. Oh no, that old big old belt is coming across the old strap, if you know what I mean. Tanner left.
You got him to leave for a minute. Oh.
All right. Well, Paul, you got to do the outro.
Yeah, well, the good news is, Shep, I did polish the main plate for you because it was a little dingy from Tanner. He didn't take care of it. So I polished it up real nice for you. All right. With that being said, that is going to do it for this episode of the podcast. So be sure to follow us on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to check out the Kicking Out Podcast shop at kickingOutshop.com. It's your place to get a bunch of great merchandise, support a great podcast, and look fantastic doing so. Be sure to follow your KOP Predictions Champion on social media at TheShep27. Be sure to follow the Quitter at TannerLee92 and follow your next KOP Predictions Champion at Paul Zartman921. And with that, for the Quitter Tanner, your champion Austin Shepherd, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out another podcast.